tasty beverage. Let's get in the groove. Synchronized slip now, we're on the move.
Good morning, stackers. Yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, stackers. It's podcast time.
Talking gold and silver and crypto too. With Joe and the gang, it's what we do.
Good morning, stackers. Yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, stackers. It's podcast time. We're stacking sats, we're stacking gold. In the world of finance, real gold. Every sip, every chart, we're on our way to financial freedom, come what may.
So grab that tasty beverage, let's get in the groove. Synchronized slurp now, we're on the move.
Good morning, stackers. Yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, stackers. It's podcast time. Good morning, stackers. Yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, stackers. It's podcast time.
CPI data is out. We'll talk gold. Toshi is up 40% in the last 48 hours, roughly something like that. We've got so much to talk about. Live gold, silver, analysis, Bitcoin, crypto too. All my amazing shoutouts with my amazing GMS family. If you're watching this on the replay, use the time codes below to go to your favorite part. But if you're watching live, you get to enjoy every single thing we do here at Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main. But in the first 1 minute of the show, what you do is you grab your tasty beverage. I grab my tasty beverage. You grab yours. I grab mine. We grab them together. Why not? And we do the synchronized slurp. That's where we sip them, we slurp them together synchronously and audibly. You must do it audibly. That is the rule wherever you are in the world, going out live on X and on YouTube right now. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, slurp your tasty beverage. Yeah, little sip for me. Little sip for me today, just a micro sip. Why not? Sometimes you get a micro slurp, I should say. Sometimes you get a big slurp. Sometimes you get a micro slurp. You know, you just never know your luck. Sometimes you'll get a big one and sometimes you get a little one. That's all I have to really say. Let's do some shout outs in the first 1 minute of the show, roughly. And who am I? You're like, who's this random dude on the internet? I am Joe Main, M-A-I-N. Don't you know? I'm coming to you live from Melbourne in Australia. I've been a stacker of precious metals, silver mainly, since 2010. I've worked in the retail bullion industry, so gold and silver dealers, over 3 major ones here in Australia for like 12 years. I did 11, 12 years. I've stacked crypto since 2013, so I'm in that side of it too. I'm just bringing the two worlds together, and now I do this week daily live show all about all the stuff I know about pretty much, and I help you guide you through the capital rotation, which is coming from the stock market into the gold and precious metals, and we have a great time. Yeah, anyway, hit the big red subscribe button on YouTube, 1,400 subscribers, and follow me on X, 3,500 followers. Early birds get the shout out. GMS says, Pete repeat, Tony is back, chat mum is here. Fantastic. We will get into the CPI data talk and all that sort of stuff, talk about Toshi and crypto, but we're going to go to give the early birds the shout outs. GMS, question mark? Why a question mark, young man? GMS. Hello, chat mum and Pete repeat. Love you guys talking amongst each other is great. GMA? What? It's GMS. It's GMS, Maximus. I will give you the fact that A and S are right next to each other on the keyboard. Let's see. Rocket Stack It, says Eli. I agree. Rocket Stack It. Shout out from the USA. Let me know where in the USA you are right now, Eli, because we have lots of people who watch from the States. We've got people from, wow, that was a big one. Give me a sec. Well, that was huge. We've got people from Portland, Oregon. We've got people from Florida. Mark Florida from Florida. Florida man. Lots of people. Tell me what part of the world, what part of the States you're from. Eli. Morning, Joe. Morning, Jason. Good to see you. 6:30 p.m. here. SC. Southern California. East Coast. I think what you're saying is Southern California. Only Southern Californians would just call it SC, and we're all supposed to understand because you're from America, and like, of course, the rest of the world's going to know what you're talking about. I'm just kidding. I just happened to live. I lived in the States for a bit, so I happen to know, and it was deduction. Silver Ruger. I like that name, Silver Ruger. Good morning, Silver Ruger. Is Ruger a firearms kind of technology? Is that what we're calling? Is that what it is? Smash the like button. Yes, please do that. South Carolina. Damn it. It is South Carolina. You're right. SC is yeah, you're right. Dang. Hi, Silver Ruger. Good day, everyone. Okay, party people. Let's get into it. Yes, you're right. They call that SoCal. Yes, SoCal is Southern California, NorCal. Yes, you're absolutely correct. I was wrong. You're correct. Most of the time I'm correct, but sometimes I will be wrong. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, let's do it. No, let's not. Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, Wealthstack, wealthstack.com. That's who the show is brought to you by. Now we get into it. The CPI data from the USA is out. Let's take a quick little look. What was it? It happened overnight, so I'll be your person to update you. Let's see what the markets did. Gold, silver, the stock market. No massive changes really, but let's take a quick look. I am using Grok as the point of reference, so we're going to share the screen, which means share the screen. Give me one moment, I have to find that. Or is it here? No, it's here. I've got it right here, people. Let's share the screen and quickly read the latest CPI data news. That's February. No. Oh. Did I just, as of today, March 13th, the latest consumer price index pertains to the UPE. Of course, it pertains to February because you released the report the month after, right? Released on March the 12th, as in the last 18 hours since overnight for us, by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the BLS. On BLS, I heard the sound of an angel. Does anyone know that reference? Here's a summary of the key points and their observed and anticipated effects on the market based on available info. CPI news. The 2025 CPI report indicated that inflation pressures eased slightly. Good on you, Trump. Just a month in, already down. I'm not saying it was because of Trump. But that's what, let's be honest with you, let's be honest with each other. If a left-leaning, any president would have been in and the first CPI data after they take office, every single one's going to go, see what I did? So it's not really, it's based on previous things. But you never know. With all the items CPI with the all items CPI rising by 2.8% year over year. So it's still up, but it's down from January's annual increase of 3%. Okay, so 0.2% down, okay? And people go crazy over that. Oh, it's wow, 0.2% down, isn't that amazing? We've still got inflation, but it's less. Yeah, I guess it's good. And below economists' expectations of a 2.9% rise. Sure, on a month-over-month basis, the CPI increased by 0.2, driven largely by a rise in shelter costs. Okay, so it's still, although this was partially offset by a decline in gas prices. Yes, so gas prices, petrol prices in the United States have gone back down under, not everywhere, but under $3 a gallon, I think it is, which is down from like $5.40 or something, which I think was quite the large move. So yeah, that's everyone's happy about that, I guess. Core CPI, which excludes volatile. Isn't it funny? So core CPI, let's read this here. Core CPI, which excludes food and energy prices. Okay, well, can you really call it a measure of the economy if your CPI, and almost every government does this? Oh, our CPI is blah, blah, blah. It's because you're not putting in the most consequential things, right? Excludes volatile food, whatever volatile food means, produce. So volatile food that goes off, okay, meat, dairy, vegetables, okay, everything that people eat, and energy prices showed a similar moderation with monthly growth at 0.3% below January's 0.4% and an annual rate of 3.2, aligning with or slightly below forecasts. The cooling of inflation came as a relief after a rocky period for markets marked by concerns over economic growth and the potential inflationary impact of Trump's escalating tariff policies. Notably, the report preceded the full implementation of some tariffs. Yes, so it didn't include some of the tariffs coming on, 25% duties, but these tariffs, don't forget, they might not even get introduced in the first place. All these tariffs are threats. Now, the thing with Trump is, as we all know, he's the most likely person to actually carry out those threats. He actually does it. He says, okay, well, I'm going to put 25% tax. And they go, no, you're not. Ha ha, we're just going to... And he goes, oh, really? And then he puts it in and they go, oh, crap. He actually did. Let's talk, right? What was the point of me saying that? I don't know. But meaning their effects are not fully yet reflected in the data. Well, they might not ever get fully reflected because they can come in and they can be put in by Trump and they can be taken away straight away if you come to the table and play ball with the United States. Now, very quickly, speaking of us here in Australia, Trump put on 25% tariffs on Australian steel, okay? And most people would think all Australians would be like, what are you doing, man? This is unjust. I'm like, okay, good, sure, do that. What are you going to do, Prime Minister Albanese, Albo? What are you going to do about it? Okay, you're going to be a big boy and are you going to retaliate and say, okay, we'll put 25% on our beef and our wine industry. Okay, you want to buy our wine that you love so much? Great, 25% on that. Just play the game, man. But he came out with a speech saying, oh, it's what was it, like disappointing or undeserved or something like that. It's like, no, why is Australia special? Like, just Australia first, America first. Anyway, I'm diverging. Effects on the market, stock market response. The CPI data was received as positive by investors, helping to stabilize US stock markets after recent volatility. Yeah, but not for long. Reports indicate that stock futures gained after release and US stocks advanced on March 12th. S&P, NASDAQ parring earlier losses. The cooler than expected inflation figures alleviated fears of stagflation. Good luck. A scenario of stagnant growth paired with high inflation. That's the one you don't want. Boosting investor confidence. Yeah, not for that long. However, gains were tempered by ongoing uncertainty over Trump's tariff war. Yeah. Bond yields, Fed's expectations, Treasury yields, don't care really. Analysts note that markets currently anticipate the Fed resume... Analysts note the markets currently anticipate the Fed resuming rate reductions in June, okay, with a projected 0.75% point cut by year end. Okay, so more money printing, assuming no significant inflationary spikes from tariffs or other factors. Okay. Sector-specific impacts. Sectors sensitive to inflation and interest rates, such as technology and consumer discretionary, saw buying interest, blah, blah, blah. Broader market sentiment. CPI report provided a counterbalance to recent market turbulence, especially with Trump's 25% steel and aluminium tariffs taking effect on March 12th and potential retaliatory measures. So this was a blanket... the 25% on steel and aluminium was blanket throughout the world, and Australia went, hey, that's not fair. Idiots. Analysts caution that tariffs could push inflation higher in coming months. Could. Potentially reversing this cooling trend, blah, blah. Context and outlook. Yeah, that's about as much as I want to do there. So let's take a look at the price of gold, okay? Gold actually went up. So let's take a look. How did CPI data affect gold? Well, it looked like it affected it positively, which is interesting. Although, could just be gold was going to do that anyway, which is the thing. So, before big news, prices can tend to just sort of range for a little bit, and then the news is any excuse. So the news is out. Whether it's positive or negative for gold, does it really matter? It was probably just going to go up anyway, potentially. But here's the gold on the daily time frame. Here's gold on the daily time frame, price in USD, 2,934. Okay, back over 2,930. Good to see. Need to close the week. That's really all I need to tell you. So it's great. It's above my must clear for new all-time high. Okay, while we're above there, new all-time high in gold is coming imminently. But it must close the week. I like a close of a day. It's got to close the week because, as we all know, spikes mean SHIT. You could come up to here, but close this week below it. Bad news bears. That's not bad news bears, not for the longer term, but yeah, not good. You don't want to see that. Okay, you want to see a lovely close above. If we close the week above 2930 this coming week, that'll happen on sort of Monday, Tuesday next week, roughly, for us in Australia. Then, great news, new all-time high in gold coming probably that following week. Okay, in that week. Okay, so if we close this week at above 2930, probably that coming week or the week after, we'll see a new all-time high. Okay, we are not there yet, but let's project something for a second. Let's project forward. If we do close the week above 2930, very likely, 95% guarantee probably, that we'll see a new all-time high as in probably the week after or maybe even that same week. However, from there, we just need to be careful, okay? We have been talking about the bearish divergence, okay? And that doesn't mean gold's done for years and years and years. It just means after a decent period of up, okay, comes a period of down, okay? Just a bit of a retraction. What I would say with that is, so upward trend in the gold price, the fiat dollar gold price, downward trend on the relative strength index on the weekly time frame. And what you'll note here is that even if we do get, and this is where it can fake a lot of people out, even if we get a new all-time high, that can be a quick spike. Okay, let's say it happens to around about your $3,000, $3,000 psychological value, or even slightly higher. Okay, if this does not pierce through, okay, the relative strength index, if we do this, that's technically a lower high on the relative strength index. That can easily tick over from there. So that's why I have actually been saying, even though we're seeing higher prices, that gold's steam is starting to run out a little bit. The momentum is waning. And I would not be surprised if we do see lower prices after that. Okay, what we would need to see is a bare minimum. You got to break that. Okay, so that becomes a weekly close, all right, and then that becomes a higher high, then great, fantastic, probably onwards and upwards from there. Just be cautious around here. Be happy that you've gotten there, but that could just be a little blow off top in there. And as other wonderful people such as ASX Trader says, you only break support and resistance to do one of two things. You either do it, let me just move here. You either do it, sorry, let me do that. Right there. If we break that resistance, it's to do one of two things. It's either to continue the trend, or it's to grab some liquidity up here to fake people out before it reverses. Okay, and with this downtrend in the RSI, that's a distinct possibility. Okay, so just be aware around that $3,000 psychological value. If we close, the week above, sure, but don't forget, if we close below 2930 and that's a spike, then, got to watch out for a potential move down. But so far, I am remaining, as I did flipped from short-term bearish to short-term bullish. I am expecting higher prices at the moment while we are above the 2930 mark. Just got to close that week. Yeah, that is gold. Cool. That was a long version of that. Let's take a look at silver. Oh, it's looking more juicy though. Silver on the weekly time frame, US dollars, $33.25 US cents. We're back above 32.50. We're back above 33. Do you remember when we showed the Eric Sprott interview just a couple of days ago? earlier this week. Eric Sprott was talking about, $250, $500 silver. That's really doable, obviously down the track. And he said in that interview, once we clear 33, he said silver will skyrocket or something like that. Okay. I don't think he means exactly we clear it, but you've at least got to clear and hold above it. And for me, it's $32.50 at the moment. Got to clear and hold above there on the weekly time frame. Do that. Close the week above $33.50. Great news. Probably onwards and upwards, but bearing in mind as well, just with gold, you've got to be wary of the breaking resistance. Is it to continue the trend or is it to grab liquidity and then head back down? With the RSI, something I will note, let's see. So back here, let's have a look here. You can definitely see how that was bearish divergence on the shorter term time frame. So this is on the weekly time frame. Number go up, RSI go down, and then you saw that bearish divergence, and then you saw that price dip. Now from here, I think that doesn't, now we've got to base it on this move right here. So now I think we're out of that kind of bearish divergence territory, okay? Because we have seen a lower low, we've seen potentially a higher low coming in this week. So I think that kind of resets. So that bearish divergence has played out fully, and now we're just in a new little area, okay? So looking good for silver at the moment. Just got to clear that 33.50. And then once we clear here, I think as long as it's not a liquidity grab, if it's just a continuation of the trend, then watch out for 38.50. That's the next little level to watch out for. $38.50, and then onwards and upwards to $50 is coming possibly this year. But looking great. Cool, that is silver. Dang. All right, this is platinum. Platinum is in my cautiously excited zone, okay? And I mean very cautiously excited. Good to see Neil on the channel, Gerald on the channel, but Neil in particular would be very happy right now, assuming he's still watching. Great to see it above. Although, just bear in mind with platinum, just like everything else, spikes mean S-H-I-T. So we've had a whole bunch of spikes. This is on the weekly time frame. Spike, down, spike, down, spike, down, right? We've got to start closing weeks above this downtrend line, and I will be cautiously excited, all right? Just bear in mind, got to do that, and I'll be excited zone. Great, fantastic. But look, $986, that's great. We're back out of this major downtrend line, okay? The one that goes all the way back. I knew that would do that to me. Goes all the way back to... What is that doing there? All the way back to February of 2021. This downtrend line, finally broken it. You got this downtrend line here. I'm almost want to do that. I almost want to do that, but I won't do that. All right, we're back above it. Good to see. Got to close. That's all you need to know. And cautiously excited, okay, for platinum. But just like Lucy in the football, it might just pull the football right from under me, and then just like Charlie Brown, I fall flat on my butt. Again, with platinum, it does it to me a lot. So cautious at the moment. Cool. That is gold, silver, and platinum. I did mention on the Gold Silver Stackers Australia forum, the gold to silver ratio has continued to break down. I'm expecting a further breakdown. Could be completely wrong on that, but watch for, and I mentioned this yesterday, watch for a major support zone if we continue down, which I'm not saying we do. You never know. It could just go and then onwards and upwards. But if we do have something like this, then watch out for there. It's around about your 83 to 84 mark on the ratio. So silver currently outperforming gold still this week, which I did predict last week. I did say that would very likely happen because we'd nearly broken down, okay? We had broken down to here, and it was the bearish divergence was playing out. That's why I said more likely instead of going up, we head back down and then we broke it. So correct prediction based on bearish divergence. Cool. That's the gold to silver ratio. Nothing else to talk about from the precious metals side of things. Let's get into some comments. We'll talk about CPI data if there's any in there. We'll do some quick shout outs, and then we will get into crypto, Bitcoin. Take a look at Toshi, that is up 40% in the last 48 hours roughly. as well. Let's go. We did all those ones. We did all of them. I'm usually right, says Neil. GMS, NASDAQ. Really? NASDAQ proposing 24-hour trading Monday to Friday, hoping for regulatory approval and to come into effect in the second half of 2025, says David Smith. Thanks for that information. I did not know that. Right, okay, so what are the closing hours? What are the closing hours? Is it, because then the NASDAQ, what are the closing hours? I actually don't know. So how many extra hours would the NASDAQ be open for? So they can't go, obviously, they can't go, crypto and just do it 24/7. But 24 hours, that's really interesting. Over the Christmas period, I saw a car with a rego. Osmium. So Silver Ruger saw a car with a rego plate. Osmium. That can only mean one thing. It probably was Neil. It's funny. Eli says, I agree. AG has rocketed today, silver and this week. Yes, Joe. Ruger is firearms related. I thought so. Eli. G'day, Danny Vitnell. Great to see you again. You haven't been on the channel for a while. Great to see you, man. Maybe you just haven't participated in the chat for a while. Indeed, gas and eggs. Yes, eggs are down too. Everyone, aren't you happy that eggs are down? Isn't that interesting? Everyone, it's so funny. Trump haters were like, he got in like January 20th and then like January 21st and said, the egg prices aren't down yet. Egg prices aren't down yet. You're a president now. Why are the egg prices down? It's like, dude, give it some time. Okay, give it some time. Hey, guess what? Egg prices are down. Did Trump do it? Probably not. Will he claim he did it? Yep. And so he should, because every president does. He'll mention that. Egg prices, gas prices are down. I'm sure there's a tweet probably coming out soon about that. He'll go, look, egg prices are down. Your favorite president did it for you. USA is in the house. Welcome, Eli. Yes. Maximus, core inflation can be a better read. Okay. Example, Australia's core underlying inflation excludes the drop in electricity prices from subsidies. Okay, yeah, sure. It can help read inflation excluding government intervention. Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Maybe because you shouldn't be having trade wars with your allies. It's called a trade war. Why not? Why not? If things are unfair, if things have seemed unfair, why not? And, you do, rather than singling out particular countries, okay, Trump's gone, all right, well, I'm just going to do a blanket tariff on all countries. And then knowing, obviously, that individual countries are going to go, hey, that's not fair. We've been really good. We've been allies. We went to war together. Okay, great. That's fine. So let's talk. Sure. But if you act like a little bitch and go, oh, it was really disappointing and, we wanted an exemption. It's like, why? Anyway. Plus, we have a trade surplus with the USA. At least one Tesla was sold yesterday in the USA. Man, you hate Elon, don't you? I think you just like to troll us, though. Jason. Jason Rosano is in the house. Oh, good to see you, man. I'm too far up, have been affected by this cyclone. Yes, except empty supermarket. Oh, I'm too far up to have been affected by the cyclone, except empty supermarket shelves. Yes, that's right. So glad to see Tony was doing all right. Morning all, Knackers O'Reilly. Shopping today for precious metals. Good on you. $50 by December 31st. I'm counting on that, Joe. No, I didn't say that. Hi, Tony. Fantastic. Historically, gold and silver prices have followed equity markets during immediate downturns. Will this time be different? Probably not. So if like in the global financial crisis and all that, and the 80s, no, not 80s, in the GFC, with a large financial gold and silver go down at the same time, everything goes down, but then gold and silver particularly in the GFC, did well after that. So they sort of sprung back pretty quickly. From memory, tariffs are a legal tax. Wonder if this is an acceptable way to mass introduce them to the world. Yes, right. Yes, will Trump end income tax? Yes, so he's floated that before. I might end the income tax in the US and just replace it with tariffing other countries, which I know is a tariff on the citizens. But if it all, if it all evens out in the end, well, then some people don't buy this and some people don't buy that. So some tariffs may not affect them. It'd be an interesting one. I wonder which would be better for the economy in the longer term. But from a psychological point of view, everyone would be. Now, this is interesting. See, if it was let's say it was even Stevens. Okay, for example, let's say that tariffs instead of income tax worked out to be even Stevens in terms of helping the economy. Okay, just based on the numbers. What it would do psychologically, I think, would be a larger effect because people will go, I'm not paying income tax. I'm not paying now. So it's visible taxes versus hidden taxes. Okay, which that's life. The visible versus the hidden. So I do wonder whether people would be more confident in the economy because they're not getting their income. They're not seeing the income tax. So therefore, they would be willing to spend more, even though they're getting taxed on certain things. There's some higher prices because of tariffs of the stuff that they consume, but they wouldn't be affected by every single tariff, right? Because sometimes they don't consume that thing. I just wonder from a psychological point of view if that would actually be really good for the economy. I could see how that could be the case. Interesting. Personally, I don't think, let's see, we'll get to Bitcoin and crypto and stuff. Toshi and whatnot, GFC and COVID are great examples. It could present a great buying opportunity for precious metals. He's talking about unless they become uncorrelated. Personally, I don't think precious metals pricing will tank with the market this time. Yeah, could be right. Maximus, could you please take a look at gold and silver miners? Yes, you wanted me to do that. GDX and SIL, possibly today, maybe tomorrow. Can never make enough from tariffs to offset income taxes. Says who? Based on what? Okay. We're going to do crypto and Bitcoin and Toshi and stuff. But first, buy from Perth Bullion Exchange. You're an idiot if you don't. That's it. That's my whole pitch. That's my best marketing pitch. My brand sponsor Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, the best Australian gold and silver bullion dealer. Okay, they are. Why? Because they're the only company that gives you free shipping. They're the only company that has a price match promise. If you can find it cheaper from a major bullion dealer with a couple of caveats, and they listed in the caveats, right? There's a couple of terms and conditions. Send them the screenshot of the price. They'll double check it, and if they can do it, if another company does it for cheaper, they'll price match. Okay, it's part of the business policy. So 2 for 2, free shipping, price match. Guarantee as well, terms and conditions. perthbullion.com.au. You are mad if they are not part of your rotation of gold and silver bullion dealers, because they have some of the normal stuff that you're willing to buy, okay, and they have stuff that's even cheaper. Most of the time they are cheaper because of their price match promise. Most of the time they're cheaper than every single other dealer in Australia. So why not buy from them? And you get free shipping when you buy over 20 or more items. Come on, man. And Wealthstack, wealthstack.com. Buy and invest, save and invest in real physical gold. Okay, backed 1-to-1 with real physical metal. It's an unallocated gold program. You don't get to hold it in your hand, but you get to know that it is held in storage for you by one of the largest gold wholesalers and storage facilities in the entire world. Wealthstack.com. Spot plus 1% to buy gold, no matter whether you buy $1 million of gold or $10 of gold. The perfect way to save and invest. What's coming down the roadmap for Wealthstack? You'll be able to do silver. You'll be able to redeem for physical gold and physical silver down the track. A debit card is on the way as well. Imagine being able to just buy everyday goods and services, tap your phone or tap your card, and pay for it in your precious metals. That's crazy good, right? They've done it for, there's other companies have done it, and wealthstack.com, Australian owned, operated and regulated company, is going to be doing the same as well. But you can just write for now, gold at spot plus 1%. How do you do it? You download it for Android or iPhone. It is the Wealthstack app, one word. Look for it. Free to sign up. Add your ID, all that secure stuff, and you or your friends and family can start saving and investing in real physical gold at wealthstack.com. Let's take a look. Ooh, okay. Ooh, Barracuda. All right. Here is Bitcoin on the daily time frame, priced in US dollars to 83,553 US dollars as of right now. So we have seen that little bit of relief. Doesn't mean we're out of the woods, and I'm just going to hammer that home. I don't bloody know, and neither do you. Okay, nowhere near out of the woods. This could be the absolute, this could be the bottom, as we're saying. So not a lot to say with Bitcoin. We had that bullish divergence, so we've seen a relief. Good, great. So number go down. So fiat dollar price, lower low, higher low on the relative strength index. And we've seen a bit of a relief rally. That was going to happen after such a large move down. What we do from here is very crucial. This could really happen very easily. Okay, watch out for that. We need to see it bare minimum close above here at around about your 86,500 area. That would be a nice little sign, okay? But still, that wouldn't even be over this downtrend line here, you could call it, or you could even call it this downtrend line right here. We need to get over there for sure, okay? So do something like that. Yeah, okay, then we'll talk. But it's got to clear this $95,000 area. What am I talking about? For the newbies, right here, $95,000. That's that major uptrend line from the previous all-time highs in 2021. Major uptrend line, respected it as support for quite a long time. Then support became, it became resistance on the daily time frame. You can see that. Trump said, hey, crypto good again, and it went found exact resistance where we all thought it would do, okay? Rejected, okay? It has to get above there. Bare minimum. Do this, sure, do that. Great for Bitcoin. Onwards and upwards we go, very likely. If you clear that 95,500, very bullish sign. Nowhere near it. Could tank from here. Cool. And watch out for, well, then you're getting down to your $70,000 area. And then if you break that, ouch. Cool. So could be absolutely still done. We could be in the start of a bear market. Lots of signs are pointing to that being the case. For example, the NASDAQ, which is highly correlated, the Bitcoin price is highly correlated with the NASDAQ. We've seen that the NASDAQ, S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, technology stocks, all that, broken their market structures. They're down. Is this time different? Could be. History doesn't always repeat. Is this time different and it breaks away from technology stocks and the stock market in general and then just does its own thing? Sure, could do. I don't know, and neither do you. But that's Bitcoin. Got to clear there, please, and thank you. 86,500. That would be a nice. That would be a nice start. Losing the voice. Got to start talking a little bit more up here in my register in the forward of my mask. That's a vocal term. Let's see. That is Bitcoin. Let's take a look at others. Altcoin market. Where did we find resistance? Oh, exactly. Basically, exactly on the $230 billion Fibonacci line right there. Technically, did we even hit it on the, there you go, on the 4 hour. Where did we hit it? Bang, exactly. Okay, this is why I tell you, Fibonacci is a great indicator, man. It really is. Why is it a great indicator? Because enough people believe it to be the case, then trades are placed accordingly. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. But this is the Fibonacci, taken from the old high of the altcoin market in November of 2021 and the old lows here. And then you have these Fibonacci lines. Look how they respected them very well. Even on the way up, they respected them quite well. A bit of resistance there. You've got support there, cluster of resistance there. Okay, a bit of a spike, but a failed move to break higher. Okay, so support there, resistance there at 280 billion, and then resistance there at 230 billion. It's very obvious stuff. Cool, so I was expecting some resistance at 230. What I needed it to do, it's all about me. It has to break 230 and hold it, okay? Bare minimum needs to do that. Great, then we'll talk potential higher prices. Then it needs to break that downtrend line and then get up to 280. Then it has to break and close to 80 billion, then I'll talk, oh, wow, crypto's back, okay? It ain't back, nothing like it. We had that spike down to that 200 billion. That was a quick move. We closed the day above. We closed the day at that uptrend line. Great to see. This is remaining as resistance so far. So on balance of probability, more likely we see that. Okay. Until I see that, we're probably doing that. Cool. That is the altcoin market. And I won't do ACH. I will go straight to old mate. Let's take a quick look at it. Ooh, this is very interesting. Could this be the canary in the coal mine? I guess you never know. This has had a massive move. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at Toshi, up 40-something% in the last 36 hours, roughly. This is interesting. We're not over the humps just yet, but it's a great positive sign. So let's take a quick little look. Daily time frame, 0.000426. Okay. Daily time frame, as I said, let's take it from the what is so far a low. Okay, and that's a 0.0003. So in the last 36 hours, maybe 30 something hours, 43%. Okay, so here's what I like about it. Number one, let's pop it onto the 4-hour time frame. I like the fact that it is back above this downtrend line. Okay, this downtrend line going through this level, and then it remained as resistance. It had a bit of a peak. It was a fake out. It failed to hold. Oftentimes from a failed move is a fast move in the opposite direction, the one to 0003. And now a quick move back above. Okay, good to see. Not out of the woods just yet. Okay, just bear all of that in mind. Here's some, we're down. Yeah, okay. So we are not above this downtrend line just yet. So do bear that one in mind. Give me one moment and I will thin you out. Style, thin, line, dotted. No, it was already a thin one. Never mind. Okay, so downtrend line, cool. Not above it yet. We need to close above there. Okay, so look, it's a great little pump. Possible V reversal. I need to see it do that. Maybe come back, test resistance, and then onwards and upwards. Has to clear 6. Okay, that would be a major level of resistance. 0.000. So when I say 6, I mean 0.0006 because that's where we are at the moment. Got to clear there, and the ultimate confidence is still at the 0.0007 cent mark. Okay, clear there. Change of market structure, probably onwards and upwards for Toshi, which means probably onwards and upwards for general crypto as well. So great to see it above, but we're not out of the woods just yet. Did you take advantage of that? Did you buy down here? Have you made roughly 40%? From around about here, I would say, consider maybe taking some profits if you want. Why not? It doesn't hurt to take some profits. But yeah, not just out of the woods yet. You could easily see some resistance around about here, as long as we don't break this downtrend line again. So you could do this within there and then break up. Sure, that would actually set up, you could see there, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So that would be an inverted head and shoulders, and that would be a great move. Great, fantastic. But if you do the following, and then you break back down below there, resistance, no. Okay, just a failed move and then probably faster to the downside. Cool, but good for Toshi holders. 40% up on the day. Some of you are still way underwater, I understand that. So a nice little bit of relief. Not out of the woods yet is the short answer for that. But post a comment below. Did you snap up some down here? Did you make a quick little trade? Did you get in and get out quickly? Are you just still holding for the long term? I want to hear from my amazing Toshi fam, the Toshi community, which is absolutely awesome. I will be back in Toshi when the price tells me it is time to do so. I'll get interested from 0.0006 because it's breaking that kind of structure right there. I'll get back in after 0.0007. That would be the change of market structure for me. And just out of interest, it's total game on time when you ever clear above 0.0009. That's just go, go, go. And then we'll talk higher prices and maybe 1 cent Toshi and all that kind of stuff, right? Nowhere near there yet. Just a 40% move. I mean, just a 40% move. Isn't it funny to say in crypto, and it really is true, versus stock market, precious metals, anything else, yeah, it's just 40% move in like less than 48 hours, but that's crypto for you, okay? Got to clear that level. But good to see. And let me know if you're still in Toshi family. Comments? Queries? Let's go. Let's see. Get stuffed. I know you're joking. Adam Bant for Prime Minister. Yeah, Adam Bant. Ugh. No thanks. No, thank you. Tony's gone there. Tony's gone there. Pauline Hanson for Prime Minister of Australia. For those watching in the States or anywhere else in the world, Pauline Hanson was the Trump-like figure, not from a business perspective, from a political perspective. Pauline Hanson was the Trump-like figure before Trump was a Trump-like figure in politics. Okay, so controversial back in the 90s. She came up with a couple of statements that, and she got quoted, and then she's been piled upon Pauline Hanson for being a racist and a xenophobe and a this and all that kind of stuff. Is it true? Is it not true? People can debate that. But interesting. Yeah. Is she gaining more popularity again at the moment? I'm not sure. I don't know the answer. It could be. Let's see. Neil says, we're getting to our sort of final comments, etc. I don't think today that I'll take a look at SIL and GDX. Probably not for you there, Maximus. But let's see. Let's get through the comments first. America pulls out of, is this a prediction? Okay, America pulls out of NATO. Could be. So countries will pay us, not NATO, for protection. Oh, interesting. So I think is what you're saying here is if, I should just go backwards in the comments, but you're saying if America pulls out of NATO, countries then would, instead of, because the US is the world's police, basically, countries would then go to paying the US directly for protection instead of through to NATO and money laundering and all that stuff, which it, of course it is. It's completely corrupt. NATO, completely corrupt. Money laundering, all that sort of stuff. Yes, I'm saying it out loud, and if I get striked or whatever, sorry, it's just true. It makes complete obvious sense. Okay? So yeah, that could be an interesting move. Let's see. I'll go back in the comments now. My apologies. Let's see. Tariffs are still being taken out of the pockets of citizens. Yes, give with one hand, take with the other. Yes, but it's all, and Tony knows, it's about the long-term effects of tariffs. If you don't know, if you haven't heard this argument before, people say tariffs are a tax on the people. Yes, they are. In the short term, in the long term, it's supposed to incentivize that country to start producing its own things again. Okay? And when the country starts producing its own things again, whether that be its own energy, its own steel, its own lumber, its own whatever, its own wine industry, its own whatever industry, car industry, whatever, that's good for that country's economy in the longer term. So it's basically an incentive to go, for business people to go, oh, well, geez, I could probably make more money if I manufacture it myself or start a company, and we'll just do it in-house now. That's the longer term goal of tariffs. And that has turned out well in previous history. I agree, Jason. Potential government revenues from tariffs will not offset loss of government revenue from income tax. But, and look, that could be true, but that's with the current amount of government spending that is currently occurring, which is, as we all know, in the United States, for example, Doge has uncovered massive fraud and massive waste. So at the same time, if you instill tariffs and also something like Doge gets rid of almost all of the waste and the corruption and all that, then that's actually where tariffs in a fair system, tariffs could actually do really, really well. Okay, that's the case for it. Yes, income tax as we know it only started in 1913. What did they do before that? What did they do before income tax in 1913? That they said was an emergency measure. Still got it. There you go. Neil said it. Yeah, in the next comment. Unless they cut spending. Yeah, can't forget that variable. You know, smart people think, was it great minds think alike? Theft from government employees deserves special treatment. Ooh. Alcohol, firearms, and tobacco sales. Don't know what that's in. The two certainties in life, death and taxes. Yes, taxes in some kind of form. Before 1913, federal government revenues came mainly from taxes on goods. Yeah, like the GST, like we have here in Australia. Tariffs on imported products and excise taxes on items like whiskey. Yeah, there was no income tax. It was just taxes in different ways. And this is the thing. Yes, sales tax is an insult to injury. So after income tax has already been paid, now in Australia and almost everywhere else in the world, you have an extra tax as well. It's like, screw you, man. Like, you take it out of my pay, and then I pay things and I'm paying extra. It's, yeah. Ugh. Trump's latest tariffs are supposedly $110 billion income, and his tax cut proposal is $4.5 trillion, and that is a small tax cut. You do the math. Yeah, again, but it how much tariffs? No, but cut the spending as well. And it's the longer term game as well. Jason, you have to understand. External revenue will cover the difference. Yeah, external revenue as well. For years, all Senate said 3 to 5 trillion was in offshores that could be taxed. There you go. Before 1930, yeah, didn't waste so much money. Well, you never know about that. The buying power of money was worth more before 1913 as well. Absolutely. I nominate Miss Tony to be in charge of tax policy. Yes. Jason says, and then when you end up having 2,000% tariffs, no one will be importing goods. Yes, they'll start producing it on their own. So there will be no income via tariffs. So how would government make money? Come on, guys. Because people will start producing more. Lord. Okay, can someone explain that to Jason, please? America only actually spends $2 trillion. We take $5 trillion in debt. The problem is debt. Yes, if we cut 1 or 2 or half to run the government, all the other numbers change dramatically. The cuts will happen. GST should not be paid. GST, goods and services tax in Australia, should not be payable in the resale of second-hand items. Yes. Which had GST included on the original sale. Yes. Double dipping by the government. Yes. What makes something second-hand feel like, oh yeah, good point. Let's see. We did that one. Tony says, I wanted to be a politician at one stage, but those that can't be bought often buy the farm. Ha ha. That is so true. Let's see. An honest politician and party would be amazing. An honest government in any form whatsoever almost can't exist. So very quickly, because and I won't get into the whole no governments at all kind of what's the word, philosophy or idea, but I have gone down that route before. I can see, can we live in a society, a completely free society with no government whatsoever? Some people argue, yes, that you could do, but whenever you get some kind of governing body, even if it's very, very small, like in a libertarian government, which it's only for, say, the court system, the police system, the military, and some other small things, like the smallest government possible, what inevitably happens over time, which is true, is that it's maybe you go back to a really small government, sure. I can imagine the economy and the world being a lot more prosperous, but again, because it's government just starts creeping up and more people come in, and we're all human beings are governed by incentives. If people want to get away with doing bad stuff, getting into the government is not a bad way of doing it, and it's probably the best way of doing it with getting away with stuff. And so, yeah. Anyway, my point was that we probably would be better without governments entirely, although that's a separate argument where people will go, well, how do we do X, Y, Z? Who builds the roads? And all that stuff. That's actually been answered very, very well by very intelligent people. But anyway, we'll probably never get to that point. So why talk about it? Back in time for the last synchronized slurp. Good. Pauline Hanson is an honest lady who cares a lot about Aussies. Look at all they've done to her, and she's still fighting. Gee, who else is that like? else in the world. Oh, who does that sound like? Elon. Excuse me. I know we've got a couple of Elon dislikers here, particularly Jason. Don't understand why. I really don't understand why any of you people dislike Elon Musk. Makes no sense to me whatsoever. Good luck on cleaning out your house. Okay, One Nation did pick up a lot of the swing votes in Western Australia, did they, Mon? Mon, I got your email, by the way. I will do my best to address it, and I'll try and fix that problem for you. I'll try and get on the case for you. And Tony, if you have the opportunity to, I know you're really busy, Tony, if you have the opportunity to help Mon as well in terms of her Facebook group thing, try and do that too, and I'll try and do it at my end. Silver Ruger, the only time I have seen Labor and Liberals work together was when they put Pauline in jail. Yeah, exactly. 6 people are waiting at the BN front door. That's always the case. You're watching this in line, are you? That's interesting. We used to have industry here and produce our own products. Yes, we produce our own cars. The Ford factory in Geelong in Victoria, Australia, where I'm from. And then now it's just all shipped, all offshore now. Jason Ashworth, yes, Trump and Doge still think 200-year-olds are getting Social Security. This has been debunked many times. Do they still believe that? How's it been debunked? I'd like to look that up. Okay, but what about all the other stuff, Jason? What about apparent 11-year-olds getting some kind of Social Security benefits or grants or something or other? There's just massive incompetence and massive corruption, and obviously you can't deny that. But you saying replaces income tax with tariffs, so at the levels required there will be no imports. So how would government make money without income tax and receiving no revenue from tariffs? Why would they? I don't understand why it's automatically assumed that they would be receiving no revenue from tariffs. Why would tariffs be at 2,000%? That's an if this then that, and I don't understand why that if would be the case, if that makes sense. Jason. I love the YT channel, the YouTube channel, Honest Government Ads. Yes, I've seen that one. It is hilarious. It is a great channel. Yes, people. Yeah, I don't have the time to do. Sorry, Maximus. I'm not going to do the silver miners and gold miners today. I will intend to do it tomorrow. Can you pretty please remind me tomorrow? That would be great, because we had a lot of CPI data stuff to talk about, and we're already at nearly an hour, and we've already done live gold, silver, platinum analysis. We've talked about the CPI data. We've talked about Bitcoin and crypto. We did Toshi as well. Man, what a great day it has been, and it's going to be another great day tomorrow, the last day of the week. Tomorrow, let's do it, people. This has been Good Morning Stackers for Thursday the 13th of March. 2025. Grab your tasty beverages because we are going to dance it out and do the final synchronized slurp because you have been watching.
Good morning, Stack.
Oh yeah, we're feeling fine.
Good morning, Stack.
It's podcast time.
Grab it.
Grab a tasty beverage. Let's get in the groove.
Let's do the
Synchronize.
in 3,
Now
2,
we're on
1.
the move.
Slurp. Oh yeah, good slurping, people. Have a great day. Stay safe, stay informed, keep stacking. We'll talk about silver and gold miners tomorrow. See you then.